Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the debate I want to see right here. Sit back and take notes because it's going to crack y'all head. I hope it crack mine. And hold it down. Don't foul out. You got to hold it down so you won't foul out. Clean.
We got Nick Fuentes in the house, Sneeko in the fucking house. Welcome, guys, to phase 2 of the podcast. As y'all know, this is
Can I just introduce Nick real quick?
go right ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, man.
So this nigga actually made me a Christian because I was like, I can't find a masculine Christian channel. Turning the other cheek is kind of gay right now. He actually said the first clip I ever saw after he wiped the floor with the saw in the was it Scuff podcast. He said, by the way, that whole Jesus was a hippie, that's a psyop. That's totally fake news. And he said this as a fucking teenager, and then he went into why. And it was a reoccurring loop, a thought in my head for years. I'm like, bro, I wonder how many channels are gonna look like his. He's doing great. Zero. He's the only one doing Christianity a fucking favor, and on his own fucking website, banned off everything. 7,000 concurrent viewers. He does 50,000 if it's a political cycle. No one in this fucking table could make it on their own fucking website. That's the future president, nigga.
Cozy.tv/Nick, man. Check him out.
See, black people? See how we made it cool for other people to say that? Now we can't even get mad because he said the N-word. We let 6ix9ine, Fat Joe, everybody that's wanting black, use it. Say it, whatever. But as soon as a white person say it, oh, he got to lose his job. Don't foul out. Keep holding it down.
Over there,
W
guys.
Glazing.
W Glazing.
Snake me and Glaze Nick.
Go park your camel,
it.
Muslim.
Yeah, so guys, I mean, right now, what you guys are seeing is a fucking historic event. We got all these individuals at the same fucking table, in person, live, literally, only here at Fresh and Fit, man. So all the guys, links are below. And here's the other thing, too, I want to say. W Free Speech, W Rumble. Shout out to Nick and Sneeko. Guys, go support them on their platforms, rumble.com/Sneeko, and then cozy.tv/Nick. And yeah, bro, I'm fucking happy to have these guys. We do the collabs that everyone else is scared to do. So today we're going to be talking about a very special topic.
Yes, very much so.
We're going to cover the JQ, goddammit, and
Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use.
quite frankly, you guys have been waiting for this for a while.
So what is the JQ?
I think the audience already knows what that is.
Yeah, I think they do.
So
If you don't know, you're an op.
yeah,
That's
you don't know, you're an op. So basically, guys, we're going to cover, American foreign policy. We're going to cover Zionism. We're going to cover all that shit. I think you guys already know what sides we have here, versus Destiny and Nick. So I guess what I'll kick it off with is I'll let you guys kind of make your intro statements, and then from there we can just go. So who wants to go first?
You?
Well, I think it's the person who's in the affirmative.
Hold on,
Wait,
one sec,
hold
Nick.
on.
All right, we got you. You're on live now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Nick.
Test,
Yeah.
test, test.
Yeah, they got your mic now.
Wait, is it? I don't hear him.
I don't hear him either.
Yeah,
That's because he won. Nick won. You're destroyed. You're in the shadow realm. It's over.
literally.
Five, Mo.
Siko, you want to go first?
He's on mic
They got
five.
the call.
Nick, remember who were you debating?
Hey, I can go.
You debated him in the sequel. You're like, my powers have doubled since the last time we met. That was fucking hilarious. Yo, we're the dark side.
We're
the
good.
fucking-
We're good.
Yeah, so opening statements. I mean, I haven't talked about this with Destiny extensively. We've had a lot of debates, but this is like the number one uncomfortable topic that every single, not even conservative pundit, but everybody is afraid to talk about this. There's always this loomy feeling that
Yep. They scared to talk about the Jewish people. We just want to know something. That's all. And we want to know the truth. No disrespecting nothing, but we Jews too. Clean.
you can't discuss this, and they always find ways to avoid it. Even like people that I used to look up to, you look at what they're talking about. Matt Walsh, for example, he made this tweet, and he's supposed to be like the face of anti-trans, right? He did this tweet and he was outlining who created the trans movement, and he tried to pin it on the Nazis. And you look at who he was talking about.
He was Andrew Tate, actually. He'd fuck one.
He was being really clever with it. He was trying to say that Matt, his name is Hirschfield, I think.
Shout out to Andrew Tate. Hey man, I'm glad the young men out here is following him. Yeah, cause it's a lot of y'all, but y'all standing up and fighting. I like that. But everybody know who really started the trans community. See, there's two sides of the Jewish community. You got the good side that worship, don't want to do nobody dirty and nothing like that. Then you got the evil side, and the evil side is the mafia who run the world. It ain't no conspiracy. Everybody know it. They talk about it. They celebrate it. Awards, TV shows. You see all the signs. We when they say we woke, it ain't about we woke. You just tired of the damn lie. That's all.
Magnus Hirschfield, who created the sex reform back in the 30s, and he was German, and so he tried to make the tweet insinuating that it was Nazis and it was Germans. But you actually look into it, and Hirschfield was a specific religion, a specific group of people. But he leaves that out for reasons that you can kind of understand when you look at who he works for, when you look at who's in charge, and maybe who told him why he should talk about that. You look at Jordan Peterson and why he avoids that question.
Everybody know who's in charge. But the question is, where's my signature at that counted you or counted them as a charge of our lives? Where is our signatures at? Where is our votes at? Oh, okay.
Why he says that they have a really high IQ and why we shouldn't talk about that.
He says Judeo-Christianity. It's like you gotta pick up the sword and fight the dragon. The guy always cries like a fucking homosexual. Jordan Peterson is a psyop, and he never once answered the JQ, but he went live, his first time live, and someone said, hey, answer the JQ, and he knew what it was. So he said, answer the Jewish question? Well, that's a hell of a question. And that commenter came back after the live stream was over, and he typed, it had so many upvotes. This kid's so brilliant. He's probably 16-year-old Nazi. I love this kid. But he wrote this. Why is it a hell of a question? Because you talk about all groups of people. Why is that a hell of a question? Total psyop. Fuck that guy.
Well, all of them they avoided. Alex Jones has notoriously avoided his whole career. And then you look at why. You look at why Kanye West kind of broke it down by finally being probably the biggest person to ever speak about it. And then
a real Jew. Who they say is a black man, a real Jew. He spoke on it. And who came out there and put a stamp on it? The ones they call white supremacy. The one who know the truth for real. The ones who they call conspiracy theorists. Like it's time to have a seat.
And Destiny's over here, and he says that this is a crazy conspiracy theorist, like that we're crazy for talking about it. He thinks that it's wild, that they'll say words like you're a Nazi, that you're anti-Semitic. I mean, they've written articles about me. It's part of the reason that I got banned for platforming Nick back on the YouTube days. But then you look at the stuff that Destiny promotes, for example, and you look at his ideology, right? Socialist. You look at who's the biggest Democratic socialist.
What? I'm a socialist?
I mean, you're leftist, and so you kind of like.
Bro, I don't think you know what socialism means. Can you stick to like what's in your
The history facts, folks. The leftists started the Ku Klux Klan. And one of them was Hillary's mentor. He was a dragon. Grand Dragon. He passed though, but yeah. And she's a Democrat. And so was he. Yeah.
dictionary.
He's a market tart. He's literally a capitalist.
Okay.
What are you talking
Hold on.
about?
Let Sneeko finish his
Yeah,
thing,
red
and then
pill,
we'll
blue
turn it.
pill.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Islam,
well,
go
leftist
ahead.
ideology,
Uh-huh.
communism was created by Karl Marx, and the biggest democratic socialist is Bernie Sanders. The right things that you transgenderism thing you think that women could turn into men. That's also created by Magnus Hirschfeld. You look at like everything that you stand for. It's all. If you look at the vaccine, for example, you look at who created that. Who's Peter Hotez is afraid to have a debate with Joe
He
Rogan.
created
and
the
RFK.
vaccine?
Well, he's been the biggest one shilling it on children.
Oh, okay. Because
He's
you said created it, and now you're just saying a guy that
wait a
promoted
minute.
it. so-
creating it and making
This is,
yourself.
I pointed out as a
Okay.
thing for this conversation.
And
These words
let
are
me make my-
always mixed up because
Okay.
nobody has anything of value to
Wait,
say about this
Sneeko,
topic.
I didn't say create.
Sneeko, I fucks with you, bruh, but this debate is not with you, bruh. I know you want to be like you intellectual, but this round of intellectual debate, this out of debate, it ain't for you right now.
I said the one that pushing it on the kids. And you look.
You
at
said created, then look at people like Peter.
Sure,
Yeah.
I correct myself.
After the Washington Post and all those news agencies and think tanks, they all, released an amnesty and apologized about the vaccine. Are you going to apologize for promoting it?
The funniest thing about the vaccine topic, and nobody will admit it, which I predicted 2 years ago, is every single thing that was complained about to be a conspiracy about the vaccine, none of it came true. Vaccine passports aren't permanent. Governments didn't.
Everything don't happen in the time people say it. They want to put it in the chip. They saying it themselves. The dude who's an advisor to Klaus Schwab, he say, I quote, humans can be hacked, and we had the technology. That free will stuff is gone. His words.
Injuries. Talk about injuries.
Governments didn't permanently expand the power.
Injuries.
There were not mass deaths. There wasn't a mass forced vaccination program. There weren't mass side effects.
Then why
There were
would they say I'm sorry? Why would Washington Post release an amnesty? Why?
Sarka, I don't deal in headlines. If you want to talk about a substantive article, go for it, but I don't care what headline you've read on Twitter.
Oh, he don't read headlines. Then he said Twitter, because he know Twitter is owned by Elon Musk, who don't mess with left wingers. Well, at least not in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he don't want to read that because he took it. But he's a psyop too. Destiny is. Hold it down. Clean.
You don't like Zion headlines?
Which is the extent to what you do for research, right?
Yeah, so
But
let me get this straight. All these guys apologize
Hold on,
except
hold on.
you.
Let
Yeah.
Destiny finish his
Notice
point. And I
how-
don't want to spend too much time on the vax because we have the other topic.
Sure,
but
we can go
Destiny, I'll
whatever,
let you
but I'm
finish
just saying
what you were going to say.
the
Go ahead,
vaccine topic
please.
is the perfect.
Fair use, fair use. Go follow Fresh and Fit. They'd have put out the debate with John and Destiny. I don't know if they're gonna put out the debate with the original debate with Nick and Destiny, because they is talking about Jewish, and Jewish they on YouTube, they on Google, and man, watch this.
Notice how much the goalposts have moved. When that thing first came out, we were going to turn into magnets. Fucking Bill Gates was going to microchip us into being
You're
gay.
so bad
We were
faith,
going to get
bro.
fucking killed. There were going to be mass fucking heart problems. All this
I
shit.
said
Literally,
Zirka, let him finish,
none
bro.
of it came true. None of it came
What
true.
about mine?
All the vaccine passports. Bro, how long have you been
What
fucking
about mine?
roids,
During
bro? Come
COVID,
on.
the first-
Dude, you had a heart issue before COVID even happened. I've watched your streams.
Lifford,
Why are you trying to lie right in front of me?
No,
We've
I
seen
didn't,
the
I
videos.
didn't say what about my heart. I said what about my conspiracy that they're going to plunge everyone into debt as all monopolies triple their fucking net worth, and that's what fucking happened. Every mom and pop shop closed, McDonald's tripled their net worth, and
You right. That's why Destiny was like, yeah, it did. Because he got stocks too. Destiny ain't stupid. Don't think because he got blue hair in his head like he a smurf that he's stupid. You stupid for thinking that.
You pretend you didn't see
Do
any
you
of
need a
that.
conspiracy to explain why big business gets bigger and mom and pop shops die?
So
Do you not understand anything about the fucking economy?
So-
Why do you think a big business is a big
exactly,
business?
that's my point. Isn't it shady to you?
What? No, what's shady about a larger business staying in business and a smaller business going into
Yeah,
business?
wait.
All right,
What's the
guys,
shady
guys,
part?
Destiny ain't trying to make that connection that big businesses be drying out small businesses, or at least buying them up, or get them out of real estate, out of their property, or buy the land and charge them more. Like, he know that, but as a psyop, you can't tell the truth.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
You want to know what's shady
Hold
about
on.
that? That's just unbelievable.
Go ahead, Nick.
Because the government literally made deals that some businesses could stay open and some were forced to stay closed. That's
What
what's
deals?
shady about it. Like, for example, they said that Walmart and Walgreens could stay open and small businesses had to shut down.
No, they didn't.
They
You're just
absolutely did.
lying.
Yes, they did. I remember that because I was going shopping at Walmart too. I couldn't go to them little stores because they was shut down. Well, what about Walmart and Kroger's? Oh, they could stay open. Oh, really? But the small ones can't. Man, I remember that, man. Hold it down. Don't foul out.
Go back and Google it.
I don't need to go back. Okay, yeah, you
Absolutely.
can Google at home if you want
There's
to,
a
but if
press
the
conference
supermarkets...
where Trump goes out
No.
there and says that Walmart can stay open. Some businesses were allowed to stay open and some had to stay closed.
What was so that viewers at home can look it up? So what's like a city or state where you're telling me to be? Let's be clear about your claim.
I know where city is state. Atlanta, Georgia. New York. Ohio, Columbus. I mean, we can name, we keep going on. Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, it's easy to name the states, bro. You know it. COVID shut down everything, and only the big businesses stayed open. You know that for a fact. And for you even arguing that, you lost already.
There are some states or cities where Walmart was allowed to stay open, but other supermarkets or other stores, not a church, not a recreational gathering. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
100%.
No,
And
it
if
was.
Even the churches couldn't even stay open. But Walmart and Kroger's can. Target can. I mean, what's up?
Go and
This
look
did
it
not
up.
happen.
So,
Absolutely. And not only that, but not only that,
Okay.
but also as large as wealth transfer because they printed $6 trillion and then they spent $3 trillion. They doubled the money supply in 1 year, and then it was the largest deficit the United States has ever run. Where do you think that money goes? Where do you think that money goes to? The cash transfer in COVID, the $2,500 check or whatever, $1,000 check, I forget what it was. That cash transfer, which I
That
think it was in-
immigrant check.
Nah, it's that 1,500. That 500. That's what that was. That bailout money for the citizens. That type of money.
Yeah, right. In spring of 2020, that was a $250 billion part of a $3 trillion spending bill. All that other money went to the airlines. It went to all the big companies that had to be bailed out. And when
No
you talk about
company got,
quantitative
bro, do you
easing,
know anything about finance? No company got bailed out. There was the
Are you kidding
there
me?
was the PPP, there was a paycheck protection
Yes.
program, which is where you pay.
Yeah, them PPP loans was frauds. Everybody was lying. But big companies got bailed out first. And now Biden passed a law to get that money back. What Sauce Walker say? Trump ain't in the office and they calling for them PPP loans. They want their money back. Biden passed the law on that, man. They want that money back. It was a loan.
Paid a company that was to compensate them for W-2 wages that were holding
The
employees on
airlines
through.
didn't get bailed out.
That people got money
Wait,
to
the
maintain.
airlines didn't get bailed out.
Airlines are one of the least profitable businesses in the entire fucking United
Okay,
States.
So the
What
airlines
is it
got
talk-
bailed out.
Okay, go over.
There you go. Okay. So
There were massive,
You're
the
just not
largest
gonna win
government
on
programs. The largest government programs. You go. I took a fucking PPP loan. Do you know anything about finance? The PPP loan and a lot of the bailouts you talk about were available for any company to go in and reach for. Okay, that's the reality. There weren't favorable companies.
Y'all see what Suits say? See what Suits said? The only reason Destiny hates Nick is because Nick got to say the N-word. Yeah, that's crazy. He's supposed to be a known racist, and black women on the panel was like, go ahead, say the N-word. Say it. We want to hear you say it. Say it. Go ahead. He ended up saying it 2 times. Then they was trying to chastise him for it. Like, man, almost everyone is here except the Tates, Jesse Lee Peterson, and Adam 22's new husband.
Companies, like you're just wrong.
Like the airline
just like the
industry?
Walmart and
They didn't bail out the
supermarket
airline
thing.
industry.
You're just making
Like they
shit
didn't
up.
bail out
You're
the
just
biggest
making shit
companies.
up.
And quantitative easing doesn't benefit the banks and doesn't benefit the biggest corporations. Also,
Every single form of monetary policy benefits the wealthy people.
Also-
That's how it works.
Also-
do you acknowledge that tax cuts benefit the wealthy?
tax cuts benefit everybody
No,
sometimes.
hold
Yeah.
on. The
Trump
QE
tax
benefits.
cuts. I saw you tweeted about the Trump tax
The
cuts.
QE benefited everybody,
wanna
right?
talk about the Trump
QE
tax cuts?
does more liquidity in a market benefit
You
everybody
wanna
looking
talk-
for money?
So you're admitting now that tax
So
cuts
you-
benefit everybody.
No,
That's
I'm
what you're
saying that tax
I mean,
cuts
you just
disproportionately
admitted
benefit the wealthy.
They
Just like the
introduced more
bailouts
liquidity,
also
which means they
benefit everybody.
just like you acknowledged.
Oh, dude.
All right.
I mean, it's just international travel and airlines.
Hold on.
It's just-
No, it's like
Exactly.
there's a basic
Because we went into
explanation.
COVID. You know, we went into COVID.
Destiny shifted the goalpost
Guys.
before he even
No one is
finished the opening
shifting a
statement.
goalpost.
guys.
I don't even know if you can see where the goalposts are.
Hold
Take
on,
your
hold on.
The
sunglasses
whole
off.
thing was
This-
about
I got my
JQ,
work
and
cut
then
out
you
for me
immediately
to
started
talk
talking about
about it.
The
airlines.
only one who should have
This-
been bailed out was Mohammed Atta. He was a good guy.
All right.
Let's talk about the Jews now.
Real quick, yeah. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna moderate this thing. I'm not gonna be participating. I'm just gonna moderate. This is mainly
Now I hope no Jews get offended. Or Jewish people get offended. We know some of y'all are because y'all already think Nick racist anyway. But that don't mean he racist towards me, a black man. Because he's racist towards you, don't mean he's racist towards me. Did you hear that? Because he's racist towards you doesn't mean he's racist towards me. Clean.
between Nick and Destiny. We're going to talk about the JQ, the thing that everyone else is scared of. I think Sneeko did a great preamble there talking about everyone is scared to talk about this, but we will talk about it. So I'm going to turn it to Destiny first. What's your stance on the situation, Destiny? And then we can just have Nick go off of that.
Sure.
That's probably
My
the best.
issue is
Please.
certain groups of people will act in certain ways, and people will take those behaviors and they'll try to use that in some really weird way to explain every single thing that's going on in the world. Sometimes people, so for instance, they'll say, like, oh, well, these people are disproportionately represented in some area, which for Jewish people, which for all people are true, right? You call a guy for help on your PC, probably going to talk to an Indian more likely than, a Chinese person. Or if you go to a person in the Midwest and ask somebody to roof your house, you're probably going to get a Hispanic person rather than a white person, right? There are definitely people that tend to move towards certain areas, which happens
Because of
for
their
a variety
IQ.
of reasons. IQ might be one of those reasons for a variety of reasons. But the problem is people will take these trends that they see, and then from there they extrapolate these crazy ideas that somehow every single world government, financial institution, educational institution, private firm are all working for some shadowy group of people, when in reality, every single behavior you see can be explained really simply
not shadowy.
by the
Hold on.
The shadow government ain't shadow. It's right in front of our faces. And you one of them. We see it. We see the signs everywhere. Some people don't want to deal with it because it's got to do with their everyday life, which is scary and fucked up. But it's like, shh, They gonna come to kill us anyway. We might as well go ahead and have fun, man. Fuck all that fun shit. Right now, they trying to kill us. They trying to chip us. But hey, put one in the air.
Destiny finished his point completely before anyone
Sure.
says anything.
Every
Go
single
ahead.
behavior that you see can be explained by ordinary human behavior. You don't need any sort of shadowy people or behind the scenes plan to explain any of the stuff that's going on.
Kanye, Mel Gibson, they're just crazy.
All right, let
Okay.
me. I want to
Go
respond.
ahead, Nick. Yeah,
Good.
please.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened with Mel Gibson? Yeah, that was crazy. See, when one of their own disobey them and don't want to participate in the stuff that the evil side is doing, they'll put him out there as a racist. Who's to say that when he said, Mel Gibson said, I have 5 black guys gang rape you, wasn't an AI? Something to think about.
So I'm glad that you said that. That's the thesis. It's certain people act a certain way sometimes. To suggest that there's any sort of tribal loyalty or anything like that is really, really weird, really crazy. I always love the weasel words. It's always like, because I'll give you my thesis in a second, but I just want to respond to that. It's always like these weasel words, like really weird, really crazy. I'll tell you what's not crazy. Jews have been a diaspora people for 2,000 years. In the last 150 years, they have made an effort to resettle Palestine, which they consider their holy land. They consider their historic homeland. They have, by hook and by crook, in violent.
Facts. Hold on. Facts.
Ways and through corruption internationally conspired, in the sense that it's people that have made an agreement to make that happen, to resettle Jews in Palestine. And they did it in some legitimate ways, some illegitimate ways, in Europe, in the Middle East, in America. And in many cases, it was violent. It involved subterfuge. It involved corruption. The idea that like that pattern of behavior is happening, it's not.
Facts.
Really weird. It's not really crazy. You're right. People act in certain ways.
See, in this debate, if this was battle rap, he already punching him. He ain't even hitting him with the haymakers yet. He jabbing him. See, Destiny. Man, let's go.
People act according to their nationality, tribe, ideas they have. And so my thesis is that Jews in particular have a tribal as well as a religious reason to act the way they do. They're disproportionately represented in many sectors of America. And by the way, they're not jobs. You know, saying that
banking is a job? Give me a break, right?
Exactly. Well, banking is, but owning all the
owning
banks.
Owning a bank is the job.
Owning all the banks is not a job. You may get an Asian programmer, an Asian IT guy.
They sure do own all the banks. I mean, what, like, they sure do own the banks. He ain't lying.
Because Asians are good at math disproportionately. That's true. You might get a Mexican landscaper because it's cheap, low-skill labor the Mexicans are performing. Jews owning all the banks is something that they have inherited over centuries and millennia because of politics and because of religion. And so if we want to talk about how that got to be, I don't think there's anything crazy about that. I think it's actually
Facts.
an interesting and important question, because these are the decision makers in the society. It's not just people that are the legislators. We have to talk about the big money people. We got to talk about the media. We got to talk about the people in the bureaucracy, determining their motivation.
See, they got people in high places and low places and lower places and lower places and higher places, even higher places. Like, the world know, but if you talk about it, you anti-Semitic. If I say it in a country way, because I'm a country bunking, if that's what you want to call it.
Nations and who they are is an important attribute of understanding why things are the way they are in America. The Jewish identity explains so much of it. That's the thesis.
Okay. What's your response to that?
What topic do you want to start with?
I mean, that he's saying that it isn't a coincidence that they're involved in.
Sure, it's not a coincidence. Nothing in history is a coincidence. But the question isn't whether it's a coincidence. The question is, remember, the JQ does not just state that Jews happen to be overrepresented in some industries. Now, people like Nick will try to shift that argument. Well, aren't there a lot of Jews there? Aren't there? But that's not the JQ. The JQ says that there is an intentional effort by those people to congregate all of their power and then to use that power to control the levers of society in very particular ways in order to effect positive outcomes for them, oftentimes at the expense of others. That's the JQ.
Okay, let me pose the next question then for you guys. Do you not think that Zionism pushes that?
Zionism does, and we can try to say that like it's just because we're oh god, sorry, I'm not gonna get triggered.
There it is. No, you're fine. You're fine, bro.
We could try to say that like it's because of some weird Jewish blah blah blah. But the reality,
You see that? He looked at Sneeko when he got when Myra asked him that question. Sorry, I'm not gonna get triggered. Sneeko was like, what is you talking about? Cause he knows the truth. He ain't stupid. Man, do not let that blue hair fool y'all. He looked like a clown, like a straight clown. That's a throw off.
reality is the United States wants an ally in the Middle East. Israel is our best ally that we have in the Middle East, just like Turkey is a strong ally in the Middle East.
Because we get the money, that's why.
The idea that we need like a Jewish conspiracy or some Jewish plan to explain that, we don't need one. Just like we don't need a Turkish conspiracy.
Wait.
Just like we don't need a Turkish conspiracy to explain why we're so close to Turkey in the Middle East, despite all the political disagreements that we have with them.
I wanna really laser focus in on this. So Stephen,
did you finish your point before he starts?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Stephen,
Your boy about to get surgical. Let's go. Hold it down. He about to, let's go.
I want to hear what your opinion is on Israel. So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that Israel is America's closest ally because Israel benefits America the most. Is that right?
I'm saying that Israel is a close ally to the United States because there's a benefit for them being an ally in the Middle East. Yes.
What is the benefit?
The benefit is geopolitical. The benefit is that we've got a strong ally in that region of the world.
Okay.
It helps us deploy military
restating
assets.
yourself.
It helps us have bases in these areas. Yeah, sure.
How many bases do we have in Israel?
I don't know how many bases we have.
Okay, really? What do we deploy from Israel?
I don't even know in terms of economy. Nothing. There's absolutely no economic, no benefit.
Destiny, I want to know too. What do America get from the benefit? Like what? So our kids and nieces and nephews and grandsons gotta go fight for a country that the parents don't get no benefits from it. Basically, it's like us protecting them, not them protecting us. Good point, Nick.
Potential interest whatsoever for Israel being there in the
and
United
no
States.
Israelis died in the Iraq War. Everything in the big controversy actually.
Facts. Ain't none of them dying in that war. That Nick talking about. None. It's crazy.
for the Muslim world is that Saudi Arabia allowed us to station there and use their airspace, which is like a total.
We're friends with Saudi Arabia too, are we not?
I know. But
Is that
we're
also
not
a Jewish
arguing about
conspiracy?
Saudi Arabia. We're
Wait,
arguing about Israel.
why are we friends with Saudi Arabia if the Saudi Arabians
Well,
and the Jewish
don't
people
change
don't
the
get along?
subject.
They
I
don't
know
get along.
serious.
That's the point.
If they don't always get along, why are we friends with Saudi?
Look, Nick, look. Nick came prepared. Destiny, you Nick a fast one. Because most people would have got past that. Like, let that fly over their head. Like, oh, you trying to change it now. Because talking about Israel getting too little hot for him. If it's, put it like this, if it's all genuine, nobody should have they shouldn't have no problem nobody talking. They don't even want you even talking about the good stuff they doing. Like they don't exist. But we sending money over there though.
Saudi Arabia then too.
Hang on. We could talk about Saudi Arabia in a second. I want to talk about Israel. So you said that we're allied with Israel because they provide us a benefit. I said, what's a benefit? You said, well, it's a geostrategic. I said, what does that mean? You said, we deploy stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I just said, well, no, actually, they don't do any of that. So I want to stick to the same question. What does Israel do for us specifically?
Specifically, I wouldn't be able to tell what Iraq does for us
you don't
specifically.
know.
You see that? He asking him what does Israel do for us? He said, I don't know what Iraq do for us. Like he ain't hear that question. That's what liberals do. You ask them a direct question, they're trying to curve that like they ain't even hear you. Like, man, I want to know too, Destiny, what they do for us. Our people's got to go and fight for them to help keep them free, but they benefit. They kids ain't got to go. Oh, okay.
Either. No, I don't know.
So you have no
100%.
idea.
I don't know.
Okay, well, the answer is
Yeah, tell
nothing.
us.
And the answer is nothing. We give them $3.8 billion per year in aid. That's in addition to all kinds of other special.
He said $3 billion a year in aid. What the man? Yo.
Special provisions. Every other country, because you're right to some extent about the foreign aid. We give a lot of these countries foreign aid, but there's a reciprocal advantage for foreign aid. Like, for example.
Oh, so that's what foreign aid is. It's giving money. So, let me get this straight. America is owned by Israel. And everybody that's living in America works, shit, eat, breathe in a rental ass country. And we gotta give money to Israel. I hope that ain't. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, you tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping.
We give Egypt a lot of foreign aid. You want to know why we give Egypt a lot of foreign aid? They became the second they became the second largest recipient of foreign aid after the Camp David Accords in 1978. They were the first nation to sign a peace treaty with Israel. It was only after that that they became the number 2 recipient of foreign aid. But one of the benefits that we get from the foreign aid.
So they paying Israel. So the United States paying Egypt, because they signed a peace deal with Israel. The only country. So I wonder what happened. What would happen if Egypt say, forget your foreign aid. We good. We don't want it no more. I wonder what would happen. Something to think about.
Besides that, we brokered a peace deal with Egypt, it was very controversial, very unpopular, is that Egypt buys our military equipment with the money we give them. Israel's the only country in the world that they don't have to spend all the.
So let me get this straight. United States pay Egypt our money to go around and buy, turn around and buy weapons from us with our money that United States gave to them. This is some backwards hustle ass shit. Well, I guess they keeping whoever signed with Israel, whoever running Egypt. I guess they helping Egypt out. Well, I guess United States helping Egypt out to keep more weapons in, so the rebels don't rise up against Egypt. Because it's like, are they Egypt protectors of Israel? One of them, like one of the bodyguards, one of the countries that's a bodyguard. Wisely, bodyguard wise.
The foreign aid money they get on the American defense industry. They can spend it on their own defense industry. Only country that gets that sweetheart deal. In addition, we have a special part of the aid that we give Israel that we give it all in a lump sum at the beginning of the year, as opposed to giving it over the course of the year. We give it to them as a lump sum. And what they do with the money is they actually buy our American Treasury notes so they can make interest. Isn't that beautiful? So we give them the money and they demand this, only one, in a lump sum, and they take.
Damn. Nah, they ain't doing that, man. They ain't doing that, man. So they buying our debt, basically, in our interest. Damn. So China don't run the world? Israel do? Yeah, I'm tripping.
Take the $3.8 billion and they spend a little on their own defense industry. They spend a little on ours, and then they buy our treasury notes and they make a little interest off the money we give them. The other thing is this: we give it to them as a loan, which is important. If we gave it to them as a grant, we would have to monitor how they spend it. Well, they don't need that kind of scrutiny on what they spend it on, so they accept it as a loan, but we forgive the loan. So there's no scrutiny, but we also don't collect it back. There's also no interest.
Damn. So let me get this straight. All the taxes we get taken out of our checks, people out here working extra hours, overtime, missing their family, not spending time with their family, relationships, marriages breaking up, just to work like a slave for Israel and pay them, then give it to them as a loan, then forgive the debt. Like, it's forgiven. Don't worry about it. I got another one coming again next year. Don't worry. It's all forgiven. While if we take out $1,000 loan, your credit get fucked up. Damn.
These are all the kinds of special sweetheart provisions we give them, in addition to them being the number one recipient. And there's actually no tangible benefit that we derive from them. In fact, it's the opposite. Constantly, we are catching spies, like the Jonathan Pollard affair. In the Trump administration, they got busted for putting listening devices in Washington, D.C.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we have any military bases in Israel?
You tell me. You just looked it up on your phone.
I
can
did.
see
So
that.
we do have military bases in Israel.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? Nick was cooking in the battle rap world. He was cooking. Man. Destiny say, question, Do we got military bases in Israel? I don't know. You just looked it up. You tell me. What Destiny just did was a core mega versus, I mean not core mega, cannabis versus what's his damn name? Disaster. You got it, man. You won. I just want to put out my notebook. You got it though. You won. But I still want to spit my shit. That's what Destiny looking like right now. And Nick looking like disaster.
Okay,
You
I
have
see
your
that we have
live
radar
chat going on.
installations in Israel.
Tell me about
Not
the
only
military
that, I
base.
see we have radar installations in Israel that literally help us keep track of what's going on over the skies of Iran. Do you think that provides us a geostrategic advantage?
No,
in the United
because
States?
Iran is not our adversary.
Do you
Why
think
is Iran our
wait,
adversary?
because we had a geostrategic interest in Iraq, and Iraq was for a while an adversary.
We're
in
not
Iran,
in
and Iran is
Iraq.
also an adversary because
Y'all hear that stutter?
Iran has international. The IRGC literally does ops all over the United States.
Really?
In fact, hold on.
Wait. The IRGC does ops in the United States?
No,
Where?
hold on. Against U.S. troops.
Where?
Who do you think in Iraq? Why do you
Why
think
are we in Iraq?
Why do you think?
Why are we in Iraq?
Why do you think Donald Trump killed Soleimani?
Why are we in Iraq?
Why do you think Donald Trump killed Soleimani? Who do you think was killing
because
U.S.
Shell
troops?
Nadelson gave him $500 million in 2020.
Okay,
That's why.
Gotcha. It wasn't because
Yes,
there were
gotcha.
attacks all
Absolutely.
over Iraq on U.S. troops that was done
Why
by
were
the
we in Iraq?
IRGC that was ran by Iran's
Why
IRGC.
were we in Iraq?
It doesn't matter why we're in Iraq. I'm telling you.
Guys,
Sure.
this is what we got to do.
This is
Yeah,
nice.
Let Destiny get off his things if you want.
It doesn't matter why United States was in Iraq. You know why he's saying that? Because he don't know, or he know and he don't give a shit. See, guys like him, if it happened to be World War III, he would never get on the front line. He'll come up with every excuse in the book. And he'll fake like he signed up. Just to make it look like it, like, oh, so you need pictures. Ain't no time to taking pictures when bullets flying at your ass. Clean.
Nick, I can give you a piece of paper and whatever. You can write down his questions. That way you can address each one.
Yeah,
So Destiny, ask what you were saying. Get into your stuff, and then Nick will respond.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. So to be fair, okay, I do not know every single point of trivia that a Nazi memorized about Israel. I don't have all the information. I will look it up when I can, and I read what I can, and I learn what I can, but I don't know every talking point. But I would like to say at the beginning, it kind of seemed like we're relying on the idea that
So you supporting a country you don't even know shit about. Or you do, or you just trying to avoid it. But anyway it goes, you know to make yourself look stupid before you think you gonna speak up for Israel. They gonna tell you shit your ass down. You embarrass the shit out of us. This is what you need to say next time. And matter of fact, you owe us 100,000 for that fuck up.
Israel's no military installations for the United States in Israel. That seemed to be the point you were relying on. Well, now it seems like they do. Not only they do, but it seems like it also is one that provides geostrategic interest to the United States because of our operations in the Middle East. Now that you found that out, now you're like, oh, well, why do we care about Iran? I told you why we care about Iran. We care about Iran because the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC that was ran by Soleimani, the guy that Donald Trump assassinated because they killed so many U.S. troops in Iraq, that they have an interest in killing U.S. troops across the Middle East, and they had for a long time. And then you shifted the goalpost from, so the goalpost was, are the military bases in Israel? Okay. Do they provide geostrategic?
Y'all notice how he trying to shift it to Trump, what Trump did, since he ain't know nothing about Israel, or he faked like he didn't know. Like, come on, man. They know. You losing. He know he fouling out. He don't know he can't hold it down. He wasn't ready. He thought he was talking to a little stupid old racist kid. This racist kid right here, Nick, he liked debating people like Destiny. to make him look stupid. And he making him look stupid. He believed the hype. Or he racist, racist people stupid. He only racist because he know the truth. And he know what he talking about, and he can prove it. Destiny can't rebuttal it. He ain't got no comeback.
Interest? Okay, well, what's even the interest? Okay, well, why are we in Iraq? You're going to shift the goalposts over and over and over again. You can shift as much as you want, but Israel does have U.S. military installations, and we also have weapon depots there as well, and there's a reason why we have them. It's geostrategic interest, and there is a reason why they're spying on people that are killing troops in the Middle East. So if you want to keep shifting the goalposts, we can. I don't know if we're getting to the point where, like, why were Jews persecuted in Rome fucking how many thousand years ago?
Just to clarify, what he said is, what he asked was, how many bases do we have? Didn't answer. Then he said, what benefit does America get from aiding Israel? And then he said nothing. He didn't say anything about the military bases.
Sure, well, because the answer is to give the impression that we don't get anything from them, because you did say that. He said we get no benefit from them.
See how fast he talking? Destiny know that, man. You lost already. Like it's over. Like he already gentleman's 30 bodied you already. A gentleman's 30. He already 3-0'd you. Like once you said I don't know that much about Israel, I only know what I'm reading on here. So you just did some quick ass little skim through and trying to debate a dude who actually studied. A racist debating a beta male, white feminist. They taking L's.
Give him a chance to respond to that.
Yeah.
Did you finish your point though, Destiny? I want to make sure you get everything off before I turn it to Nick.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, go ahead, Nick.
Okay, so let me dive in here. The reason it's not shifting the goalpost, I asked you specifically, precisely, because you came on here without knowing it actually, and I want to point that out. You come on here and say, well, it's a weird, crazy conspiracy to suggest that Zionist Jews in America conspire to help